Hi, welcome back. It's so good to see you again. Come on in, pull up a chair, grab that hot cocoa. I'm so glad that you came. Today we're going to talk about our emotional health. And this is what I learned. Proverbs 18:22 says, "A merry heart doeth good like a medicine, but a broken spirit dries the bones." A merry heart doeth good like medicine. That says it all right there. A merry heart, a joyful heart. Our emotions are important. They affect us. They affect us in a lot of different areas. Obviously, not just in our mental health, but our physical health. Our emotions are important, and we need to take care of those. So, even though they're a part of our mental health, I wanted to keep them separate. And the reason is because when I was growing up, I grew up in that generation where we didn't talk about our emotions. You know, if you were sad and you wanted to cry about something, you were called a crybaby. I was told many times, you better stop that crying or I'll give you something to cry about. Probably said that to my kids, and boys, I apologize if I did. Or you may have heard this one too, I'll just shake it off, suck it up, you'll be all right, you're okay. We have been taught as a generation not to share our emotions. Now, I understand we don't want to be somebody that's crying all the time, but our emotions are important. They are part of who we are. And this past year in 2023, I tried to process all of the past, all of the things that were going on in my emotions. My mother passed away in the end of November, actually, of 2021. And so in 22, I was grieving. I was, trying to recover from all of that, missing her very much. So it was just last year that I was able to actually start thinking about the past and the people that had come into my life and had went out of my life and things they had said, things they had done. Some of them brought joy, some of them did not. And I had to process all of those because we should acknowledge our feelings. And obviously, I did not acknowledge my emotions on those, or they wouldn't have had to do it this past year. So, one thing that I knew I didn't want to live by my emotions, I wanted to acknowledge them and let it go. So, I had this little picture I've shared before. If somebody had said something that hurt my feelings, I just picture myself taking a balloon. I put that memory in the balloon and I let it go to the Lord and I forgive that person because most of the time they don't even know that they said anything. But I don't want to hold on to that. I don't want these memories coming back when I'm older and I'm trying to tell stories to my grandchildren and great grandchildren. We want happy, joyful stories, not the sad, upsetting anger stories. So that's what I've been trying to do to find the joyful, the sprinkles, the fun times, the maybe the fun stories of when you were growing up or the funny things that happened to your children when they were little. We want to remember those things. Another thing that I'm trying to do is I am trying to think about my blessings. I'm trying to be grateful. Gratitude is very important. And the Lord blesses us so much throughout the day. And sometimes we get busy and we don't always think about it. Or maybe the stresses of the world, the fears, the worries, they try to come in and crowd it out. So, one thing that we've been trying to do, we have a family devotion time. And we've been trying to not only share, of course, prayer requests, but what were your blessings today? What did the Lord show you or bless you with throughout this day? And we try to praise the Lord and be thankful for all these wonderful things because these are our emotions and we don't want to throw them away, but they are very, very real. And this is something that I had learned. I had watched a sermon by Dr. Charles Stanley, and he said, you always remember HALT. H is for hungry, A is for angry, L is for lonely, and T is for tired. Now, two of those are emotions, angry and lonely. But he said these are times when we're vulnerable. Either we're physically tired, we're mentally tired, emotionally tired. There's something going on. You've heard people talk about being hangry before. My little granddaughter said that the other day. She was getting hangry. It's a term that we talk about today, and when we acknowledge those things, but then we need to do something about it because we need to go get something to eat, not take that hanger out on somebody else. And that comes with practice and wisdom. If you're feeling angry, why are you feeling angry? Why are you feeling sad? What is triggering that sadness to you? What can we bring to trigger joy? And some of that is a process. It's different for every person. I'm not judging anybody here. I'm just telling you. And when we're lonely, you know what? There's people out there that we can reach out to say hello. And they probably would enjoy having a little hello from you too. And of course, when we're tired, we're tired. Sometimes you might be physically tired. You might be mentally tired, emotionally tired. Have you ever felt weary? Yeah, a few years ago, I was like, okay, I get that now. I totally get what being weary means. It's not a fun thing. And so those are things that we need to acknowledge. We need to acknowledge our emotions so that we can find the joy. So I hope our chats have been bringing you joy. They are the sprinkles in your day. I hope you will hit subscribe so that you can come back. We've got one more day. We're going to talk about our spiritual health, and I hope that brings you joy as well. So come back then. I'm so glad you're here. So glad you stopped by. I will see you next time. I love you. Bye.